Tragedy strikes a Montgomery County neighborhood. Police say 2 children were found dead. 3 others, including 2 other children, are severely injured inside a Germantown home. Tonight, investigators say they have far more questions than answers. WJZ is live. Christy Aletto has more on the information that was just released by police. Christy?
Well, Mary, you've just learned that 2 women are now persons of interest. One of those women is the mother of all 4 of those children. A tragic and what police are calling bloody scene on the 19,000 block of Cherry Bend Drive in Germantown Friday.
There was some type of assault that occurred.
Montgomery County police say 2 children are discovered dead upstairs, 2 others and 1 adult injured. Detectives say the deaths are suspicious and are being investigated as murders.
The family just moved here a couple months ago, right?
Residents taking the horror from the sidewalks.
The ones that are deceased, they were always outside playing, never really saw anything wrong with the family.
Timothy Darden says he never suspected anything.
She was, just like a young 20-year-old with kids, single mother. She seemed happy, like I say, to move into the neighborhood.
Police say Friday morning was not the first time they had come to this residence. In fact, they had been here Thursday night.
We got a call here last night from a neighbor who saw an unattended child in the vehicle.
But when officers arrived, the child was back in the home, and police say no one ever came to the door. But neighbors tell police there was commotion coming from the home overnight.
Loud enough so that the neighbors could hear some kind of disturbance at the home.
Shocked, but devastated at the same time, especially when you didn't hear anything and then you see all this.
While neighbors try to make sense of this horrific scene, police are trying to piece together what may have sparked this gruesome act of violence. And police now have 2 women as persons of interest. One of them is the mother of all 4 of those children, and police say they believe all 4 of those children were under the age of 10. Mary, back to you.
So sad, Christy. Thank you. The 2 injured children are being treated at Children's Hospital in Northwest Washington.
Police officer
71 back there in a 55, okay?
Oriana Farrell and a state police officer are arguing over a ticket just south of Taos.
I'll be right back. Go ahead and turn the vehicle off for me.
But as the cop walks off, Farrell does the opposite, pulling away instead. So he pulls her over again. The officer isn't too happy.
Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle right now.
You can see the officer try to pull Farrell out while the 5 kids inside scream. Her 14-year-old son gets out but thinks again when the officer pulls his taser. The struggle continues.
You're already facing evading charges right now. You ran away from me, okay?
Pull back over. I didn't run away. You see my children. I'm not trying to do anything wrong. I'm just trying to take them to the real ground.
Finally, Farrell agrees to get out and talk, but the conversation doesn't last long.
Turn around and face your vehicle. Man, listen to me.
Farrell and the cops struggle as she tries to get back into the van. While that happens, the 14-year-old gets out again. And this time, he rushes the officer, trying to defend his mom. After a short tussle, the boy runs back into the minivan. The officer tries to get him out while backup arrives.
Open the door! Open the door!
Farrell starts to drive off while another officer fires at the minivan full of kids as young as 6.
Today our people can see that we're faced with a government conspiracy. This government has failed us. The senators who are filibustering concerning your and my rights, that's the government. Don't say it's Southern senators, this is the government. This is a government filibuster. It's not a segregationist filibuster. It's a government filibuster. Any kind of activity that takes place on the floor of the Congress or the Senate, that's the government. Any kind of dilly-dallying, that's the government. Any kind of pussyfooting, that's the government. Any kind of act that's designed to delay or deprive you and me right now of getting full rights, that's the government that's responsible. And anytime you find the government involved in a conspiracy to violate the citizenship or the civil rights of a people, then you are wasting your time going to that government expecting redress. Instead, you have to take that government to the world court and accuse it of genocide and all of the other crimes that it is guilty of today. So those of us whose political and economic and social philosophy is black nationalism have become involved in the civil rights struggle. We have injected ourselves into the civil rights struggle, and we intend to expand it from the level of civil rights to the level of human rights. As long as you fight it on the level of civil rights, you're under Uncle Sam's jurisdiction. You're going to his court.